right, guys, it's Monday. Love this for us because you know why? We were just upstairs. Hold on, it's gonna get my water. We were talking upstairs, and this podcast was completely started
For parenting?
about everything we've ever done was about two friends hanging out and telling the truth and like talking about topics of life that are relatable to women, mothers, wives, sisters, aunts, like just being a woman.
Sisters and a brother.
That's what that's what the Mom Truth started as. That's what our podcast is. It's a conversation between two friends, unfiltered. So sometimes it's funny, before we get to the podcast studio, the two of us will sit upstairs and talk to each other for fucking 4 hours.
I know.
And then realize that that's exactly what we should be talking about on the podcast. So sometimes we have to stop ourselves.
It's so weird because all you have is like in parenting, so you have hindsight. So you have what you thought was hard isn't hard because your new hard is harder than your old hard, but your hard is hard. And also kids are like a social experiment. So you roll the dice and at any moment they can decide to roll a different way and have a different story, a different narrative, for good or So when you look at parenting, you're kind of like, there's no moment where you're like, wow. There's no deep breath moment where you're like, wow, it's really working out. I'm so glad we did that because at any moment. So Natalie and I were talking about parenting.
This can be as small and specific as, a lot of people don't have a choice between a semester at school and a non-semester at school. But if you were to like go to see an expert and to analyze your child and said which one would be better for them, they're very different.
Oh yeah.
And there's pluses and minuses to both. I've heard them both. I see them both. But a lot of people that are in a semester school should be in a non-semester school, and vice versa. But that's life. You're going to end up in situations where some people, are in their best environment and some people are in their worst environment. But you got to find success.
I think they'll also stress putting them in positions that isn't the best for them sometimes is what builds future better people.
Totally.
So sometimes being in the wrong environment helps them understand that is the wrong environment. Yes. Oh, and that you could actually be in the right environment. Anyways, we were talking about parenting, and it's so hard to know if you're a good parent. Like, it's so hard to know, am I a good parent? Because what defines a good parent? And it's, how do you know if you're parenting properly? And when are you like, oh shit, we need to reparent?
I really felt really, really stellar for 10 years, Kat. Like, you know what? I could actually say, like, I couldn't be a better parent because I also don't have expectations of myself that are unrealistic. So I'm the best parent. Let's just say the first 10 years. I'm the best parent that I could possibly be. And so I'm proud of myself. And even if you told me I was a bad parent, I believe I'm a good parent because I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think that it's coming it's coming kind of naturally to me. I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm
like, you feel like it's teenagers are an easier phase because you can have conversations. Okay, hold on. Teenagers might not be easier.
Sorry, can we just stay in the first 10 years for a minute? Can we just play a little bit in here?
You felt
we did
for
it
10
together.
Years. Yes.
We had
the first 10 years for the oldest one. Because Chloe is just 10.
So I'm just okay. I'm
actually doing really well. Those two little.
I have a 10-year, I have a 5-year, and then I have a 2-year. This is how I'm breaking up right now.
So for 17. We're saying for the first 10 years as a parent.
First 10 years as a parent, I felt like we really were exceeding expectations.
On a report card.
I felt like an A+. I just felt it was so much work. It was exhausting. It was physically exhausting, mentally exhausting. And at the end of the day, I felt satisfied with what I'd done with them. I had them on such a routine. I had them in bed at 7:00 at night.
Girl, that was for the first 3 years.
No, Taylor would be in her room. All the kids would be playing in the street, and she'd be like, "Why do we go to bed now?"
Okay, so
she was in grade 1
till 2020. You're saying till 2020.
Okay, how old was she?
Well, she was born in 2008. So till in 2020,
So 12 years?
12 years.
So for 12 years, I had it under control?
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to think because I know your bedtimes were she was so strict with
And I
bedtime.
was so proud of myself because I had a goal was to sleep train them, have them sleep 7 to 7. Nap times were on the dot. Meal, made dinner at the exact same time every
Because
day.
I feel like with the youngest, he was going to bed so late because everyone else was going to bed so late.
Yeah, I mean,
Like later. So let's just give
so he would have been 6. So
let's call it 10 years. Let's just go 10 years. Okay.
let's call it 10 years. Is that also when we started touring? Because I remember
And we
saying
started in like 2016
so.
because Chloe was a
So how long
baby.
was I a parent in 2016?
8 years.
What's 8 years? Okay, so between 8. Okay, so yeah, okay. By the way, I don't think for a second that touring made me a less good mom. I want you to know that actually was like it was a really it was a transition, but what it also in that time made me release some control,
Yeah.
which was different, probably better, but I felt like sometimes I liked being so in charge of my job that I knew that I was successful at it.
Yes, you do. You still like that.
Do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
but now I feel like I'm sharing the role.
Yes.
So I don't feel as I am completely in control of the parenting, which parenting should be shared. But in the beginning, it kind of wasn't because he was at work.
Yeah.
I was figuring everything out. And I kind of patted myself on the back for everything that I felt like it was all me.
Now you're like, this is on you. I'm joking.
But not in a mean way, not
Yeah.
that he wasn't good.
No.
But I was like, I feel like this is my role and responsibility. I'm at home. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it really well. I still feel when he goes away,
I know.
I feel so good doing everything and being like, I fucking nailed that. I got 4 kids. He's not here. I can do it all. I actually am a more active parent when he's not around.
Yeah, you have to be.
Because it's sort of like if you have an assistant or if you don't have an assistant.
Yeah, you have to
So
do more.
do the whole job. It can
Yeah.
be overwhelming, but it's like at least at the end
You
of the
feel
day.
competent when you do it.
Yeah, you achieved it. It was you. You did that job. And you did it well. So then I would say in the past 5 years, definitely laxed up on some of, I'm sharing the role, let's say. I'm sharing the role.
Yeah.
Still good, still fine.
What do you mean lax? Like what have you lacked?
I let him do some things.
Okay.
I
You needed him to do some things.
Yeah,
Out
yeah.
of necessity because you physically can't do the 4 with their sports. You can't do it.
I know. You know what I would do if I was a single mom though?
What?
I would, whenever I was available, I would do it.
Band.
And I would
They'd all be in a
no,
band
and
together.
I would really have a real conversation with carpoolers, tell them my situation, and really thank them from the bottom of my heart and let them know how much I appreciate the help.
Okay.
I think I can make it work.
Got it.
I also feel like, well, and they're older now, so like I guess I have to like I let them do things like on their own now.
Thank God.
Okay. But there's less moments that I get to feel like I'm doing my job as a mom really well. Because when they're younger, you could see the fit. You could see it's like, okay, they were having, I know they go
Okay,
through
so
phases.
Isn't as they get older the reflection of how we've parented them when they're younger? Is it not like a sum up? It's like the tally.
That's right?
It's like the recipe. You've made the
That's
recipe.
right?
You're cooking it, and well, that's what an adult is. It's the creation of multiple things. But I would say that when you're a parent, sometimes it's too late to go back, and they have to learn the lesson on their own. You can't parent them, and that's what's really hard as a parent is if you have not given them the skills to feel confident enough to do things. How do I put this? I watched Modern Family. This is just an example that I was like, could sum it up, where Haley is like, you don't let me do anything. So her mom is basically like, you're fucking right. Like, here you go. We're cutting the cord.
Mm-hmm.
No phone, no, like she has to figure out life on her own without her mom rescuing her.
Mhm.
And she like walks in the house soaking wet. And she's like,
Mhm.
I had no phone. I had no money. And then she's
Mhm.
like, congratulations. You got exactly what you wanted.
Mhm.
You figured it out.
Mhm.
Look at you.
Mhm.
Basically, like
Mhm.
you were right. I let you
Mhm.
stumble too long.
Mhm.
Or I helped you too much.
Mhm.
So it's sort of like you don't know though until it's so late and then a situation arises. And for example, university, and when I say you have to put like one of the clips was like, are we gonna have to put rules in for when they come home? I don't mean you actually have to put rules in for when they come home, but like the sum of your parenting shows up when often it's a situation where they're having to go do something at higher stakes.
Mhm.
And you see, oh, we didn't actually
Mhm.
cover that one.
Mhm.
We didn't let them cook dinner on their own ever, and now they don't know how to cook dinner. Or
Budget.
something like that. Or even behavior-wise, you are seeing things that often people rescue, and someone else can see it, but the parent can't see it.
Mhm.
Which is natural. It's really hard to see your own thing. It's really hard to see your own patterns and your own behaviors because you're stuck in your own patterns and behaviors. And then when the kid you see in a different situation, you're like this, whether it's a relationship,
Mhm.
whether it's something. So I think that that's what gets tricky is as they get older, it's exposed. Most of it's fine. I'm just saying you just see exposed.
It's exposed, and it's for me like in a really like I'm thinking of I'm selfish thinking right now as a parent, thinking of myself as a mom. I don't get as many moments where I feel, I felt like when they were younger, there was just like moments where you like something would change or they would learn something new and you taught it to them or they showed you their behavior somewhere. Like, like when a parent would call you and your daughter had a play date at our house and she was the most polite.
Yes.
Like I know, like, yes, but those are the kind of things where you're like, I fucking did that right then. I must have done that right because but there's less of those moments.
Yeah.
And
I think it becomes can they get a job and hold a job? Can they, becomes hard skills. It becomes skills where you can see.
but
It's selfishly you want to work hard. You want someone to say, Natalie, you want to like a checklist to be like, I passed. I did it. I got an A. How did I do in parenting? A, B, C, or D.
And I don't feel any sort of accomplishment when, let's say, they do like get a really good mark. I'm not like
because that's them, not you.
Right. Right. I'm like, great. Like, I'm so glad you got it. But like, you didn't get that mark because I helped you study.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you did that on your own. So I don't feel satisfaction from that. I don't feel satisfaction when they like, I don't like going to losing games. You know that because everyone's happier when we win. But I also don't feel personally accomplished when my kid wins a game.
Oh God, me neither. That's great.
A lot of parents feel attached to that stuff.
Oh yeah.
In a way, I kind of wish I was attached to something that they were doing so I could feel good when something good happens to them. So, and
but that just means you're an emotionally mature adult and parent because their failures or their successes don't personally help your life or they don't make you feel good about your life.
Yeah.
You can feel good for them, but you shouldn't feel good or bad based on your kids' experience.
Yeah, I know. So I'm glad for that. But it would be nice if there was like, I don't know what would make me feel. But again, it's their life. So it's whatever having them is going to make me feel better. And I have done this for a lot of, I know that one's only in grade 6, but like, and I know there's like hard skills I can still teach them, but like,
here's the
how
thing.
much more can I, like, is there really a lot more I can change from them or do they need to learn it on their own? Have I done what I've kind of done, except for cooking, like those things that you do, but internally, like, are they what they are?
Okay, let's take a quick break. No, they're not. Let's take a quick break and come back. They're still fully developing.
But like, do I have any more?
1,000%, unfortunately. I don't know if that's fortunately or unfortunately. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Actually, if anything, this is the time they need more of you, which I think is so hard because not hard. I would just say that the the phase of teenage parenting becomes, you become a coach.
Yeah.
You're
It's more
no-
conversations.
It's no longer boundaries of like, I said it's bedtime. Like, when you're ready, you let me know. It's less about like they respond when you say. And so you can see, oh, now they go and put their shoes away every time they come home, right? Like all the shit that you can like lay the foundation for. And then when you're coaching them, it kind of becomes about, you have to let them be their own people, which not everyone's gonna like, unfortunately. Not everyone.
You mean they're not going to necessarily like their
they're
kids?
teenagers.
Okay, yeah, right.
You can love them. Not everyone, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions, is that loving and liking your kid are two different things, and you don't like every aspect of your kid's phase. And they might outgrow that. They might become something different, but like, you know, just like you might not have a lot in common with your child at that age. And I think that you can love them and want the best for them, but then when you're trying to parent them and you don't like
Their style.
you don't like them right now,
Yeah.
that's really hard because you're just like irritated. And then their behavior is amplified by the irritation of who they are as a person. But you still have to parent them, but you're kind of pissed at parenting them because you're just like, oh.
And you know what's kind of weird about their personality too is that, you know, you don't really think about this, but like, I don't know what it would be like to have one kid, okay? But like,
You can really like someone else, another kid at that time.
you know, all kids are going to be different, right? So let's just say if you were like pretend in high school and you have a kid and you're like, I'd probably not be friends with you.
Yep.
Like, you're probably not like me.
Yes.
By the way, they're probably like, good, I'm not like you. I've never be friends with you either. It's totally fine. But it's kind of a weird thing because you're like, oh, right, we're not friends. We're family. I'm your mom. And we're different. And I knew people like you, but I wasn't like that.
And they might not trust the way you do life.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to parent them, they're like, but I don't like what you do.
Yeah.
So why am I going to listen to you? So it becomes this, you know, I think that's where respect is such a huge thing, because you have to respect who they are. They have to respect who you are. And they can, you know, we have 16 and 17-year-old daughters, right? And the thing is we're not alike. We're alike, but we're not alike. We're a lot alike in certain ways, but we're not a lot alike. And they might become more like us, but it's, do they trust you to listen to you? Because they might eventually listen to you, but in this phase, you have something to offer them, but they might be like, I don't want to listen to this. So it's like, comes down to a level of respect, where do they respect you enough to listen to what you're saying and take it for their own life? Because realistically, it's this fine line between them needing you, them wanting to hear you, and then them finding their own voice within all of that shit. And you're trying to launch them from not needing you, but wanting to remember what you've said and done and taught them, and then them implementing it into something that's their own, hopefully. So they're not searching. And I recently said to Olivia, I'm like, your job right now, your whole fundamental job is to learn who you are. And this is forever. Like, it's a forever thing. But sit down and like see what you like, what you don't like, what fits. And then you're rapidly growing. So I'm like, you have all of these expectations. And I'm like, so just like take the gas pedal off and just sit down for a second. And I don't know if she's gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're just gonna have to like,
She will.
But I'm just gonna like, you just have to sort of get into like a flow state. Like, you just have to sort of be like, okay, this is you're in a washing machine and you're on the tumble cycle in your life right now, or the spin cycle. You are in spin cycle right now. Don't fight it. Just fucking go in spin cycle and understand that this is okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Everyone's
in spin cycle.
exploring, yeah.
And if no one has more shit together, even though someone has early accepted to Duke for a volleyball scholarship and they are 10 out of 10 and they are going for their PhD while they've got their scholarship, I'm like, their spin cycle is just at a different time. It's gonna come.
I like, on that note, I ran into someone. It was lovely to see them, and we were talking about where the kids are at university. And I by the way, I when somebody tells me that their kid got into a program or got into university and they're proud of their kid, I don't see that as showing off. I feel that they're proud of their kid, and I'm happy for you to tell me that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, you know?
Yeah. It's like great for them. That's so great that your child got what they wanted.
Yeah. One person actually said it in a way that I was like, well, that kind of sounds like, why did you have to say that part? That was a bit showy-offy, but usually it's like, okay. So she was like saying that, and she was like, and we didn't have a lot of time talking, it was over people, but she was saying that her, one of her kids had gotten into this business program, like, that they wanted to get into, and that another kid, who's my kid's age, has like a 98 average and wants to get into that business program. Yada, yada. We finish our conversation. She's like, oh, we'll talk another time. I'm sitting with my family at a table, and I overhear her saying to a friend that she knows better, talking about the daughter that's doing so well, and saying, well, she's diagnosed bipolar, and so, like, it's been a really hard time. It's been really hard. And I'm like, that's the tricky thing that, like, kids don't see. They'll see, oh, that kid's got 98 average. They have early acceptance to this thing. Their life must be so together. Meanwhile, you hear her talking to her better friend about she's struggling with mental health and her medication and all of this, but no other kid would know that about her.
No, and you don't necessarily have to know that, but it's getting across to them that this journey, they're on a journey right now, and university is a stop for some, not a stop for others. It is not the end goal. It's not the end result, because guess what? You are going to get there. The world is going to change tenfold while you're in university.
Mm-hmm.
It's already changing tenfold. So I'm like, if you can go to university and understand that it is a stop, it's something cool to learn, but your soft skills of how you make people feel,
Mm-hmm.
how they will remember you,
Mm-hmm.
are you resilient?
Mm-hmm.
Could you get a paycheck without having to go to get some degree? Could you put food on the table? Those are things
Mm-hmm.
that not everyone has. And I'm like, university isn't going to get you this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so what you need to learn is she's having a hard time picking courses that don't seem very academically challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I look at her, we go through the course list. Could AI do that? Yes. Could AI do that? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Could AI do that? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to teach her that when every opportunity you're given in school, in classes, are just a fucking stop. And it's just, what can you take from them as much as you're giving them?
Mm-hmm.
So your 100, cool, but cool. Did you spend 3 weeks trying to get that 100? Stupid. Because what did you take away from getting that 100? I'm like, you gotta look at life beyond what someone's giving you, because this is not going to get you further in life, is what I'm just trying to teach her. I'm like,
it's so hard because their vision is so narrow. Their world is so small.
But it comes down, can they hear you eventually?
Oh, they're hearing.
Let's take one more quick break. I think parenting's just it's the longest freight train haul you could ever imagine, and it doesn't end. You just have to find ways to respect them as people, and because ultimately they're not going to listen to you at some point if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that relationship where they want to hear you?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think everybody has it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what makes them want to walk back in the door when they're grown-ups or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they want to hear you, and if they feel respected by you, then they'll keep coming back to you. But I think that's what we need to focus on in parenting at our age right now with these kids, is like, do we have a mutually respectful relationship? And if you're not feeling respected, that's the bigger issue than the behavior.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm experiencing some of that, and I recently was like, I don't know when this was. Maybe it was before the summer, maybe it was after the summer, but it was like a family meeting. And what I wanted to know was, yeah, you're not feeling respected.
Yeah.
But I want to know what. It was like a very mature conversation.
Yeah.
And it did get to a better place. Now we've taken a step back, but like, yeah, having those conversations, because you're so right at the end of it. My job here isn't to get you to do well, like to succeed in school. My job isn't to get you to this. If selfishly, which I like to think about parenting selfishly, because
that's everyone's selfish.
Okay.
So you have kids. Fair enough.
Yeah,
we do.
and I don't think
We're not
about
doing
my
it for the betterment of the world. Like we're not
Right.
like, I'm gonna have a baby so I can make the world a better
Yes.
place.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not Elon Musk just adding to the population.
I want a baby.
Yeah. I selfishly what I want from my children is that I want us to be together forever. Like I want us to want to be with each other.
We're ultimate influencers as parents. You are the ultimate, and can you influence their behavior to help them become better people? So it's sort of like you can't change them. At some point, they're not gonna, you can't fix them, can't change them, whatever you want to call it. You can parent them, but it's through influence. It's fucking not.
And
through,
it really is different. And it's not like you get to a point, like when I said at that 10 years, it wasn't like I got to that point at 10 years and I was like, okay, now your job's going to change. Like nobody's like, okay, you finished that course. Cause I give myself an A+ on that course. Now I'm starting a new course and I'm learning it and it's different. And I wasn't like, you can't be prepared for it.
Well,
So now you have to navigate your way through it. I hope that when I come out 10 years after, I can also be just as proud as my first 10 years.
but your current 10 years are series of moments of building trust and respect. So parents like to think that they can yell or scream at their kids for them to respond. Maybe when they're little, they'll be afraid of you. But as they get older, they'll just not listen to you. They'll tune you out and they just won't tell you shit. They'll just fucking ignore you.
It's like all these people that say like, we're saying that kids don't want to leave the house. And then I talk to like older people our age and older. And sometimes also with like people like, well, my European parents, I couldn't fucking wait to get out of that house. Because I had rules and they were my parents and it wasn't fun. And I wanted to go and live my life on my own terms. And
I think that your kids can live at home and still be launched.
Yes.
I don't think that it's not a physical thing.
I lived at home and I was
launched.
Yeah, and I got free rent, but like everything else, I was having a full-time career.
To me, it has nothing to do with money. Like it is not a money thing. It is, are they calling the doctor on their own? Are they calling the dentist on their own? Are they navigating their life on their own without tethered to you? And are they able to go and do that without you leading the charge?
Yeah.
Are they able to manage? Do you have to call their employer and be like, hi, my son's looking for a job?
Right.
That's to me what launching is. It's actually not where they live or how they live with you, or if you support them financially because life is so expensive. It's, are they able to take a paycheck and not be like, oh, I don't know where it went? Are they able to manage their lives without
I said
you?
when I was making some appointment for Taylor, I said, do you remember when we took the tours of the university and there was all those health centers and all those doctors and dentists and like everything like that? I'm like, this is going to be all yours starting next year. And I mean, she wasn't like, oh my God, no. And I was like, everything will be yours.
But do you know how we all got our own doctors? We just had sex. So we had to go find our own doctors because you weren't going to ask your parents for a doctor's appointment.
Oh, yeah, we were at that doctor. I was getting fucking gyno shit when I was so young. My parents didn't even know.
No.
I love that for us.
As the kids did. They just went to the walk-in clinic on their own with their friends. Yep. Was one of their friends like, you should get on the pill.
Get on the pill. Wasn't even having sex yet, but I'm like, guess so. Everyone's doing
I
it.
don't even know what my parents asked. What doctor do you go? Like, so crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had the pill. My mom knew I had the pill. Where'd she think I got it?
They didn't ask.
Remember the big bowl of condoms on the desk?
Yep. But we, at 14, 15, 16,
we were doing that on our own.
And did that on their own because there wasn't the tethering of it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't help your kids or whatever, but I think that those are the skills and the relationships of, like, I guess we just have to look at parenting differently. And it comes down to, some people just have to give a look and their kids are like, fuck. That's really ultimately what you want, is to have a relationship with them where they know what you mean all the time. And they're not confused by, is she being serious? Is this serious or not? Like, how serious are we right now? And I think that's when they get older is they know the tone.
Yeah.
And if they don't know the tone, that's kind of on us.
Yeah.
Why aren't they?
And why are you confused by my level of seriousness right now?
And why are you confused by why I'd be upset?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's step back and look at this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope you could read the room
Mm-hmm.
from why I'm upset right now.
Mhm.
Because I think that a lot of kids need to step back and they can analyze their behavior when they step out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they
Yes.
need to look and be like, oh, I can see it from your perspective,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think as parents,
And
punitive behavior will no longer work when
No.
they're older because
No.
they'll just eye
they'll
roll
just,
you.
yeah, I mean, they won't respect you. It's a conversation. And I mean, you know, if you have like a kid who's like, you know, 15, 16, like around 15, they have their, a lot of them are very strong in their opinions, what they believe, what they want. Now,
I love that, but I also you're like
but it's time for conversation. It's not time for yelling.
yeah, it is time for conversation.
You
You're right.
know?
It's time for yes, it
Something's
is.
not working here. You're feeling a certain way. I'm feeling a certain way. I'm not excusing you, and you don't need to excuse me. But we need to understand what is happening right now.
And also, if you're like ever confused about why they can't do something, if they can do it in other parts of their life, it's a
Mhm.
choice when they're with you.
Mhm.
So if they can do it at work, they would never do it here, and here, but they're doing it here,
Mhm.
then that's a choice they're making
Mhm.
for some reason.
Mhm.
Because there's some people who can't control it, and that is a different situation.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ball game.
Mhm.
But the people who choose where they decide
Mhm.
behaviors are the ones
Mhm.
patterns.
Mhm.
Anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. I would love to hear your phase of, your challenges in teen parenting, like the teen years, and what you're struggling with in the
I'm in
parenting
a 2-year right now.
to your face.
It's been 2 years. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It was 10, 5, and 2. I'm in the 2 right now.
I don't feel like you're in two with all of them though. Like intuitively, it felt like you knew you had to dial back in again because you were like, you're just like, something shifted where you knew you had to get back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you're like, oh, you knew you had to dial back in again because we were traveling so much and no one was saying this is too much because
Mhm.
things were running
Oh,
smoothly.
yeah.
But
We
now
knew.
I've heard you say,
Yeah.
Ah.
We couldn't leave them.
we can't do that.
I just feel, and you know what it is? It might not be me.
No, it might not be you.
The feeling of the 2 years is a feeling of me
You've
feeling.
been in 2 years.
Yeah, I've been in around 2 years. Yeah,
You're not feeling connected.
but
You're not
not,
feeling dialed in.
but that might be normal.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I feel like a little bit of like a distance from them, and I know they're growing up and it's different, and I'm not their world, but that distance feeling, I like, even though I feel close to some of them, and I'm starting to feel the distance even with the baby. Like there's just
Okay. I
space
actually
between us.
know what this is.
How long has this been?
We're going to wrap this one up, and then I'll tell you it's been 35. We'll go
Okay.
to part 2.
I'm just gonna quickly make sure that my